Chapter 1.39 Breadcrumbs for the Detective. The Archivist's library looked like the brain of a dying god. In the vast, echoing hall of the abandoned depot hung hundreds of monitors and holographic projectors. Some replayed fragments of other people's lives on an endless loop, others streamed cascades of green code, and others showed nothing but white noise. The air was cool and smelled of dust and static electricity. The Archivist stood at the center of this chaos, and the chaos seemed to obey him. His translucent hands fluttered above the console, weaving disparate data streams into a single picture. "It is not random," he rustled, not turning toward John and Lilith. "I compared your signature with the archive of system failures over the last 3 cycles. The Purge Protocol does not strike at individuals. It strikes at points of narrative tension." On the main screen appeared a map of the city, where dozens of red dots flared to life. "These are places where an avatar's script enters an irreconcilable paradox," the Archivist continued. "An infinite loop, a logical error capable of triggering a cascading failure in the entire sector. The system does not kill, it performs a correction, and now I can predict where the next one will occur." A single dot began blinking on the map, in the district labeled Mechanical Bazaars. John stared at the map, and in his eyes lit up that cold, analytical fire Lilith had seen in him when he solved the hardest puzzles. "We can be there before it," he said quietly. "Get ahead of the eraser," Lilith snorted, incredulous. "Why, so we can die alongside the next system error." "No," John replied. "So we can leave bait for our bloodhound. It's one thing to tell Kaito the system is strange. Another to make him see it with his own eyes. We'll bring him to the scene of the crime before it happens." Lilith frowned, but then understanding flickered in her eyes. "You want him to talk to the victim, and then watch them get erased." "Exactly. Let him see that this isn't gang warfare. Let him see that the victim has no enemies. And then let him ask himself what kind of killer can make someone simply vanish." The plan was bold and insanely dangerous, but it was all they had. "Fine, genius," Lilith nodded. "You handle the logic, I'll handle the bait. Detectives like him don't bite on dry facts, they bite on the poetry of despair." She leaned over the Archivist's terminal. "Next target." "Avatar 7 Delta 9, the Archivist responded. "An old clockmaker, his script, the attempt to build a clock that measures lost time. He entered an infinite loop, which began to cause small temporal anomalies in his sector, corrections scheduled in 2 hours. Lilith closed her eyes for a moment, then her fingers danced over the keyboard, wrapping the dry data in noir prose. John, using the Archivist's secure channel, sent the second anonymous message to Detective Kaito. "They say time heals, but some clocks are too broken to mend. Find the one who counts the seconds that never were, at the Mechanical Bazaars, in the shop with the sapphire sign. Hurry, detective, his time is about to run out, for real." The message was sent. They stood in silence, broken only by the hum of the library. They were no longer hiding. They had begun to place pieces on the board. "Risky," the Archivist remarked, watching the screen. "You draw the system's attention to this place." "We're drawing the protagonist's attention to the system," John corrected him. He looked at the map of Neo-Shanghai, which now seemed less like a prison and more like an enormous game board. "The hunt has begun, but this time we're the ones setting the